Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy second or third recording on this Friday. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well this season. I got a word for you. Tap in. Really quick word. I just got off a Zoom call, and there's something that hit me so bad, not bad, but just so profound in the spirit. And I figured I would jump on and share it really quickly with you guys. If it's for you, confirmation will be there. That is generational curses, and that's witchcraft, things like that. Now, if I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm not huge on knowing a lot about witchcraft, things like that. I do know it's a demonic realm, and I don't want to say too much because I don't know a lot. But what I will say is this right here. A lot of the things that you are fighting and you think it's Satan attacking you. And I mean, I guess it is because he's somewhere tied up in there. Do you know that a lot of the struggles that you're dealing with is from witchcraft and demonic forces that your parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, etc. had to deal with? So I speak a lot, definitely not about witchcraft, but about generational cycles. Again, some call them generational curses, things like that. Whatever you deem them to be, it's within the generation. It happened prior to you. There are things that your father did that you don't know about. There's things your grandfather did that you don't know about, etc. Mothers, grandmothers, aunts, uncles, all that stuff. It's within the generation. Spiritual ties are real. You're chosen. You're called to break the generational curse. You can't understand why you're going through so much warfare. You can't understand why you can't have a normal life because there's nothing normal about your life. Because it's almost like when you dealt with one attack, something else is coming. It's something constantly happening. And you just feel like, why can't I ever get a break? When I look around, other people around me are just sitting there, not constantly under attack. What is it about? Because you're called to break that cycle. And sometimes you may not even have the answers. You may not even have the answers of your ancestors on who did what, who molested who cheated on who such and such, who played with the voodoo lady, and who put witchcraft on someone 30 years ago, but is now attached all over in the spiritual realm, and now someone or several individuals are dealing with all type of demonic warfare. When you are breaking generational cycles, curses, whatever you deem them as, can't just break them off of yourself. They're generational. So you have to go back and you have to break those things in the bloodline with the individuals prior to yourself, even if you don't even have all the answers, because many times, especially back in those days, everything was swept under the rug. So you may never, ever, ever know the entirety of the situation, but your spirit will let you know. Your spirit will alarm you. When you start transforming yourself and God starts taking you higher, God will show you things that you never have to get an answer from anyone else. When he shows it to you, break it. When you wake up 3 o'clock in the morning and you're having the night, break it. Pray against it. Break it. Do not go along with the generational cycles. If you go along with it, then you're part of it. If everyone have had 25 children with 25 different baby daddies, if you decide to have 25 children with 25 different baby daddies, you're part of the cycle. You have to stand firm on regardless of the conditioning or what you have seen and say, you know what? I'm not doing it that way. Even when you're criticized for doing it a different way, if you're the one chosen, you always knew it. You always knew it. You never felt normal. You never felt like you would go that route, regardless of what you've seen. Mind you, most people go that route because it's generational conditioning. You're conditioned. So for you to be the only or two or three people in the family, or even more, to be the individual that God has dropped the nugget and change your spirit and change your perspective to say, I'm going to do it this way because that way ain't it. You're chosen. You're called. When you do it differently, boom, you've broken the cycle. Your children, your grandchildren would not have 35 children with 35 baby daddies. Of course, I'm using that as an example, but we can plug all kind of stuff and get in where you fit in. What is it in your family? Don't answer me. I'm saying, what is it in your family that when you look at everybody else, you just, you're not judging anyone, of course. You just feel like, I don't have that unction to do it that way. I have the unction to do it a different way. And I don't even know how that way is going to work. I don't even know. All I know is that I have an unction to do it differently. You don't even know that you're called to break the cycles. You just know you have an unction. Do you move with that unction? Or do you shrink back? Because when you move with that unction, you're going to be judged. You're going to be criticized. You're going to be all these other stuff because no one understands you. How could they understand you? You're doing it a completely opposite way than what anyone else does. How could they understand you? Remember, people don't hate you. People hate what they can't understand. They can't understand you. So they really don't hate you. They hate what they can't understand. And now you're constantly in warfare. I don't understand why everyone else gets to have a simple life. My life is always in warfare because you're called. You're chosen. You're not going to have 35 baby days. You're going to wait to get married. You're going to wait to have a child. Even if it means you will be 70. Adopt that child. Or whatever. God never told you how it would happen. He just told you it would happen. So if you're 70, obviously you can't have a baby. But hey, when you get to that rim and you're 70 and he says, well, boom, there's a child I need you to adopt. Boom, parent passed away. I need you to, boom, you're a parent. He never told you that you will be a parent a certain way. He just told you you'll be a parent. But you're focused on age. Well, I am 39. And people having babies in 40s and 50s every day. But you're focused on the fact that society says if you're not married to have children by 30, you're a quote-unquote old maid. And now all these old maids are doing what right now? Envying your life. Love their children, will kill for their children, but wish they waited to have children. But you're trying to force the clock. You're trying to force the situation because of what society? Society is not even happy. They're killing themselves. You're called to break the cycle. So when you're being judged, are you going to shrink back? When God is telling you to move differently, are you going to shrink back? When you look around you and everybody else is obviously unhappy, the Jones aren't even happy, but everyone wants to be like the Jones. Are you going to shrink back? Or are you going to walk this fire to get exactly what God said is yours? True, authentic, first time happiness, and to be the example for those behind you and to set the blueprint for those coming. So I ask again. How bad do you want it? It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.